guys. Hi Tyler, Michael here in RTE.
Hey Michael.
Can I just ask about Caelan? Just obviously the news confirmed out for 4 to 6 months. Do you have any more details of the injury? I know it's shoulder and a bit about how much you miss him, and even looking at the fact he seemed to play on with the injury against Northampton Saints to demonstrate how much it meant to him and what a loss he is for the next few months for the club.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any specifics, but it seems pretty serious for it to be 4 to 6 months, and we're obviously all really feeling for Caelan that there's never a good time for an injury, but this timing seems particularly cruel. But like you say, for him to get up after the instance and then play on for a bit and have to be taken from the field, quite a while after, I think it just shows that, one, he's a really tough, mentally tough player, physically tough player, and he really cares for the club. So, yeah, we're all feeling for Caelan.
Maybe just, we haven't spoken to you since the Northampton match. What was your take on that? And, what areas did you identify on your side that, stuff you didn't get right on the day maybe?
Yeah, obviously just extreme disappointment. We didn't perform to our potential. And the flip side of that is we came up against a Saints team that I thought played extremely well. So, my side of the ball, I think we were inaccurate with some of our launch plays and set-piece plays, but I think we just lacked a little bit of urgency to get set and to really to match, I think, the energy the Saints brought around the field. We just lacked a bit there, and we focused a bit on that the Monday after.
Any idea why that? Because Leinster couldn't really be accused of that in the run-up to it. What if it was the whole team that dropped off? Did you identify any particular reason for that?
No, I don't think there's any particular reason. It wasn't like the whole squad at one time. It was just moments in the game that we just didn't stack good moments, either through inaccuracies or like you say, just not being at the right place early enough, and it kind of just compounded and put all that together, and the performance it wasn't good enough to win on the day.
And I asked you about this as well, that in recent history Leinster have had trouble getting themselves up again for the URC. It's simple as that they seem to carry the deflation of defeats very heavily on their shoulders. What have you spoken about with the management and coaching team to make sure that you avoid that this time around?
Yeah, obviously we know we've got the weekend off next week, so we've got another match that we want to continue the momentum. We talked about bouncing up well and focusing on our game against Zebre, and then the players have even mentioned that in the past it was the match after that they couldn't, or they didn't maintain that level of intensity and performance. So that's our focus this week. We're looking to perform well and play our game well in all facets, and then that's going to build our momentum heading into the playoffs. So yeah, it was definitely a low energy week after the loss, but then we had our awards ball, we had the Lions announcement, we had a nice performance on the weekend. So it was an interesting week, but I feel like we've turned the page and we're trying to apply ourselves and really focus on Glasgow this weekend.
Very good. And maybe just ask you about one of your fellow New Zealanders coming to Ireland in the summer. Carlos Spencer, a big coup for the AIL and for Terranure. Had you much dealings with him? Had you come across him? Do you know him, or did you just admire him from afar when he was lighting up Super Rugby and the All Blacks?
Yeah, that's pretty much the extent of it, to be honest. He was one of the players that did light up the rugby for the All Blacks. I remember the big Bleyendaal Cup matches against the Wallabies. He was always a star in them. Definitely an exciting player that he kind of just a real trailblazer. He did it his way, and it was exciting to watch. So I haven't had any personal dealings with him, but yeah, it's obviously a very exciting announcement for Terranure and just for Irish rugby, club rugby in general.
You might get him over to Terranure for a training session, or to Leinster for a training session or something at some stage, will you?
Yeah, I mean, even just hearing from the lads that play down there, what he's like and what they're trying to do down there, it's going to be exciting to see what he brings and see how he develops some of our players.
And the final one, we were talking before as well about Glasgow have something to play for this week. They can improve their seeding, and obviously you met them recently and knocked them out of Europe. Is it better from a preparation point of view? That's not a complete dead rubber, that that you face the best Glasgow have to offer, and some other matches end up being nothing on the line, and it's maybe harder to motivate guys in that instance.
Yeah, I think a lot of our motivation this week has been very internal. You know, we're still fresh off that loss against the Saints, and we put a decent performance out there on the weekend. Now we want to perform again, and we've been trying to motivate ourselves internally from our own standards, but we're very aware that the challenge Glasgow will bring this weekend will be fierce, I think. So, like you say, it's great. It's going to be a great match, a very exciting match, and we're going to focus on our performance, but it should be great preparation heading into the playoffs.
Appreciate your time, Tyler. Thanks for that.
Thank you.
Hi Tyler, how's it going? Mark Bolton here.
Good, how are you?
Good. We're just talking there with Hugo about like blocking the outside noise from that Northampton game, and everyone questioned every aspect of the game, where it could have went wrong. Just how difficult was that to just keep amongst yourselves and not listen to what was being said outside camp?
Yeah, I think we just had to look at ourselves first, you know, management, coaches, the players, and then we just aligned about where we were short in our performance, and everyone was very honest reviewing that, and it's very difficult to be very harsh critics of yourselves and have your peers, be honest with each other. So that was a good starting point. We were off across the board in many different things, which led to obviously the performance that we put out there. So it also meant that, look, we were keen to turn the page. We're lucky that we have put ourselves in a position to have this focus for the URC, and to earn the home advantage for as long as we can perform is going to be really exciting. So yeah, with a bit of honest reflection, and then just trying to nail down on our own standards, our own kind of identity on what we do well.
Do you think the Lions announcement gave some of the players that were called up a welcome boost when they probably needed it at that point?
Yeah, I think it gave everyone a boost. Like the players that made the squad, it's really exciting, it's well deserved. I think the squad around them is really excited for their peers to make that tour. And then I think the guys that made the squad, they'll be deflecting the other way, saying, that's great, but now they really want to perform for Leinster, and that's been the chat. So it's exciting for the players involved, it's exciting for the club, and then we're also aware that we want to perform in the blue jersey now and make a run in the playoffs.
I just find it, like, how important is it, like, this set of players who, like, everyone says is best in, like, sees it, like, on paper anyways, like, best in URC, and, like, pundits all across Europe say the same way. How important is it there's certain work to show for these players, like, come the end of the careers, they can say, like, we won trophies, it's not one of those teams that will scratch your head thinking, how did they not win X, Y, and Z?
Yeah, probably a good example of the outside noise. We understand we've got a good squad, we've got an experienced squad, we've got exciting youth, and we've built a lot of depth over the season. So, we're really proud of that, but we need to perform each and every weekend now heading in. So we're not looking too far ahead, we're not looking at silverware. We know we want to build momentum from this weekend versus Glasgow, and then we want to obviously win and perform in our quarterfinal match, and then we see where we go from there. So like we said at the start, the outside noise or the distractions, it's focusing on the now is the key for us.
Thanks, Tyler. Best of luck the weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
Any more questions there for Tyler? No? All right.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers, lads. Thank you.